Drag Racing fan, Monday morning race here. We're live. This is Between the Slicks, and we're going to be talking it all drag racing right here on the Monday Morning Racer YouTube channel, Facebook page, and Twitter account. Let's talk about it. There's NHRA news. There's No Prep Kings news. We're going to be talking some Pro Mod later on with, well, our guest, Melanie Salemi, the winner of the 50th annual Snowbird Outlaw Nationals. We're going to be chatting with her, looking forward to having her on and getting the scoop on a year that for the Salemi camp was definitely challenging, but they have this highlight now towards the end of the year winning this major Pro Mod event. So what we're going to do tonight, very quickly, we're going to take a break. We're going to come right back. Y'all start getting those comments in, start hitting that like button, start hitting that share button, and let people know that you are watching Between the Slicks right here on Monday Morning Racer. Are you looking for a gift? Still a little bit of time before Christmas. Just maybe, if you order now, you might get it in time, some Monday Morning Racer swag.
Yes, you can now get Monday Morning Racer swag. Shop SpeedShark.com, Team SpeedShark, they can hook you up with Monday Morning Racer apparel. Not only Monday Morning Racer apparel, we're talking about apparel for Johnny Placino, Camry Caruso, Frankie the Madman Taylor, and more to come soon. Check them out at shopspeedshark.com or at your next race at the Speed Shark trailer.
All right, get that gear, ladies and gentlemen. We got some other offers in connection with Monday Morning Racer from Powerbuilt Tools and also Gearhead Coffee, Hero Soap Company. So there are some brands that if you're still trying to figure out what to get someone for the holiday season, for Christmas, New Year's Eve, and you want to give a gift for that time, there are some deals through Monday Morning Racer that will help the channel. And hey, I'm out here, my own media company now, and pushing forward with, Funny Car Chaos brand, and still going to be out there filming PDRA and local sprint car action, things of that nature. But definitely, I'm out here on my own. So guys, help out. Hit that share button, hit that like button. Let's dive in to some drag racing news. And, it seems like to me that a lot of the drag racing fan base, they really like to be negative. It's very interesting to me that they like to be so negative. But there is certainly a positive that was announced today. Now, there wasn't a major announcement. There hasn't been a press release. But from a reliable source, Kevin McKenna, who is the senior editor for National Dragster, he put this out earlier today, making this statement. Happy to report that Route 66 Raceway in Joliet will host an NHRA regional event in August. Fingers crossed that the Camping World Professional Series will return in 2023. I think that is stellar news for a facility that I believe we do need back on the schedule. Having Chicago on the schedule, I think, is vastly important for the market because it's Chicago, one of the largest metropolitan areas we have in this nation, and because of the facility that it is, like a true stadium wraparound style facility. It's got an iconic look. It was a track that also has ET and speed records, and it is a place that I think we definitely need our professional men and women of drag racing in the NHRA going to year after year. So good news to hear that we got a regional event coming back in 2022, but hopefully we will see a return of the Camping World Drag Racing Series, the professional guys and gals back there in 2023. And folks, Drag Racing Central, he chimes in here and kind of jokingly says they live in 1970. The doom and gloom crowd, stop listening to them. anyone out there making like absolute statements that it's done, it's over, it's dead, yeah, don't listen to them. To make those statements, you have got to go a long, far way. And really, you really need to wait for concrete evidence and statements made from people in key places and positions. Can we say that Atlanta Dragway is done? We can say that. We have proof of it. But you had individuals spinning a narrative that, oh, Joliet's done. Nothing's going to happen. And there hasn't been much life there, I know, but you've got a great facility that still had potential, hadn't been put to the blade of the dozer. It can still hold a drag race. And it looks like we're going to get that with the NHRA. And no telling what other type of events will be held there next year. Look, holding a regional is great. But what about holding other races that we might not have heard? What if it's pro mod racing? What if it's sportsman bracket racing? Whatever it may be. Good news concerning Joliet for sure. Stan says that very excited about factory. Let's see, they have went to just factory X, like factory. They're not even doing like factory experimental anymore. They've even condensed it a little bit, but hopefully NHRA doesn't F it up. Hey, I think it is a move in the right direction. I don't know if it will ever replace Pro Stock. Don't know if it will replace Factory Stock Showdown. I don't know what's going to happen with all of that. I do think we're going to see that class diverge, and this may be a problem already, though, with this class. They have got these cars with the chassis set up to easily transfer to a electric class. And I think that's going to split possibly in the future that particular class, and splitting a class can definitely hurt momentum. We'll see in the future what it holds, but yes, I'm excited about that class, that you've got a shift, that they're going to look like the OEM counterparts, and they're going to be a little faster than factory stock, but they're not quite as fast as a pro stock. I think this is really hitting the in-between of what drag racing fans have wanted. Look, ladies and gentlemen, I love pro stock. And even though I love pro stock, I can be critical and say, I wish the cars looked like the cars, because if you take all the stickers off, they don't really look like their factory counterpart, like they did, just 10, 15, 20 years ago. It wasn't that long ago that you saw these cars looking like they did. Well, we'll see how many jump into the Factory X class. There's already a lot of buzz, even from Josh Hart with his shop. There's buzz. Roger Brogdon, he's got one ordered. We had him on Competition Plus Power Hour a couple of nights ago. There is definitely already a lot of buzz around that class for the NHRA. And look, it's smart for the NHRA to do something to bring some positive buzz towards them, a new class for people to jump in and participate. Chris Powers, he chimes in and says, electric cars will ruin racing. I can definitely see it being a problem if they are not on their own series, for example. Formula E, let's talk about that. They were being successful at one time. COVID really put a stop to it. But before COVID, they were moving forward and they were gaining a fan base, and you had factory OEM support. But I think that's where it works best, when it's its own deal. When you start splitting classes and start detracting classes and bring in another class and it's electric, I don't know. It's going to be tough. I think it's going to be very tough in drag racing in particular. But if there is the factory support, I think you've got to look at it. And the factory support could spill over elsewhere. And Chris Powers, being ultimately in the Mountain Motor Pro Stock class, would love to see that class continue to build and gain momentum. And it does sound like, when you talk with Chris and you talk with other individuals, that class next year could look the best that it has in many years. And I hope that is the case in PDRA drag racing and elsewhere. Drag Racing Central chimes in and says, if a meteor hits the earth, it's NHRA's fault. Well, maybe not that far, but I do understand the sentiment. And look, the NHRA is at the top. And, Wes Buck likes to say it this way, and it's a true statement. Heavy is the head that wears the crown. They are at the top. And the drag racing world, I really feel, rises and falls with the NHRA. And I do feel that the NHRA, they take like 2 steps forward and they take a step back. There are things on the media side and the social media side that I wish the NHRA would open up and I wish the NHRA would allow. And then I say that and I see in other areas, apparently they can get away with it, but over here, they can't get away with it. I find that strange. You also have the situation, as Matt Smith shared on Competition Plus Power Hour, that, hey, you don't like wink, make a nod, give a stern talking to, you lay down a fine on your champion. I don't know. Those are moments. It's like, okay, you had 1320 come out to 1320 video. You had them come out to Pomona, and they're working on it, and they're going to have footage from the wall. Like, are you sure, NHRA, you realize what they're going to do? And what about everybody else? And if you don't know, like, footage from the wall is a no-no. But we can take you to outlets and I can show you there's footage from the wall. Why aren't they getting popped as others have been popped? I find that interesting. As Sam Smith says, it's called the share button. Hey, share this show right now between the slicks if you would. But yes, we can all help one another. We can all grow this and move it forward. Hit the share button. Just like our guest later on tonight, she hit the share button to her page about this show being live tonight. Melanie Salemi, the winner of the 50th anniversary Snowbird Outlaw Nationals down there at Braden Motorsports Park. We are going to have her on later tonight, be chatting with her. I'm looking forward to having Melanie because it's the first time that I will have Melanie on this show since the very first Between the Slicks. The very first Between the Slicks had Melanie Salemi and Johnny Placino on at Darlington Dragway. Here we are, episode 74. We're going to have Melanie back on. I'm definitely looking forward to that. Sam Smith, my co-host on Tuesday night, says, no burnout, Matt Smith, in 2022. Hey, that would be interesting. Just, be past the water box in protest or something. That would be kind of funny. Well, ladies and gentlemen, speaking of the NHRA, speaking of positive things, as we have, I think this is a negative. Paige Coughlin, who we had on the Competition Plus Power Hour Tuesday night, great guest to have, she made the announcement that she, A. Coughlin, is stepping away, maybe not fully, but stepping away from NHRA bracket racing, stepping away from a direct path to NHRA Camping World drag racing, and is going to be stepping into a No Prep Kings ride. It's going to actually help her choose the livery of this 80s Camaro. It's not a brand new car. It's a car that her dad's even familiar with, if I remember her saying that correctly. But she is going to go No Prep Kings racing. I think that says something about the nature of where drag racing is right now. The perceived top of drag racing is what? NHRA. Like, if you want to be at the top of drag racing, it is, in Door Slammer world, because she's like, hey, we need to build a Door Slammer. That's what? Like NHRA Pro Stock. That was the benchmark. Well, things are changing, apparently. Here you have a young lady, 21, articulate, attractive, a little bit of edge, maybe a rebellious spirit to her, which we need that in the world of drag racing. And we don't need ladies just to always be the corporate dolls. Maybe have a little bit of edge. Nothing wrong with that. But she's making a statement that, hey, we're going to step away from NHRA bracket racing, and we're going to go No Prep Kings racing. She also has explained, hey, what does it take to get in? And that she's not going to automatically be on TV. She's got to work her way in. She's got to be invited in. And that's good. But not making an announcement about going into NHRA factory stock. You had a brand new class announced this year, Factory X. She could have stepped into that. She's not stepping into that with a Jegs car. She could step into a pro stock or a pro mod ride with Jegs behind her, the family business. No, she's going no prep Kings racing. If I'm the NHRA, even with being so fuel centric, nitro centric, I'm in that board meeting and we're having a discussion of why did we lose out on having this attractive, articulate young lady from a drag racing family that has been so intertwined into NHRA drag racing. And if they're not having that discussion, they are missing out on a portion of discussions they need to be having. They need to talk with this gal and like, what, why? What are we missing? Why didn't you make an announcement that you're coming pro mod racing in the NHRA? Why didn't you make an announcement that you're coming to Factory X, this brand new class, and you're a brand new brand and identity within the Coughlin family? Right? Why not come here and do that for this exhibition class? Why not? They need to be having that discussion. And I think this type of announcement is big. And I think you're going to see other people continue to make such announcements that, hey, I'm going to go in this direction. You know, I can tell you, even though, you know, I'm not as popular as a Paige Coughlin, look, Funny Car Chaos, Chris Graves calls me up. He's like, I want you to be my pit reporter. And I could have opportunities to continue to pursue NHRA in particular, but I would rather go Funny Car Chaos, get paid more, and have a whole lot more fun on a weekend and be around cool people instead of the tight-ruled, cliquey, frustrating atmosphere that the NHRA can be at times. Much rather go to Funny Car Chaos. What are some of the comments? Drag Racing Central says, NPK has such a big online presence, they kill NHRA in that department. They do. They really do. Go look at YouTubers. Like, for example, guys, I have not been a smart YouTuber. If I wanted my drag racing channel to blow up, in fact, like just blow up, I need to go do a Street Outlaw No Prep Kings event. Then my channel would blow up. I'm just not the biggest fan. And when I say fan, do not misunderstand me. I do not say, in saying that I'm not the biggest fan, that I despise or hate or do not like what they're doing. No, it's just with everything I'm following and involved in, following something else, it can be challenging. But maybe even I do need to take a much closer look at it. And with Paige's move, it definitely excites me to say, hey, let me take a closer look with someone like that making a move toward the NPK. They do, though, kill the NHRA in that department. Stan says she doesn't even get on NHRA radar. They only care about Nitro, and your ticket proves it. Well, Stan, that's the problem. And that's even a conversation they need to be having. That particular attitude that they have is an issue. They need to work on it. Troy, he chimes in, NHRA purses are so meager. Yep, they are. They need to work on that. And external opportunities are so fewer. Is anybody really surprised? I think the surprise with this one is the family name and the connection and the strong ties. I think we expect like someone from the Outlaw Pro Mod world to do this, but that's what I'm getting at, that this is a Coughlin making this move. What Coughlins have you seen participate in anything beyond NHRA drag racing, except like big money bracket racing? That is huge. Sam Smith says, wow, Lee, thanks for leaving me on the island. As the Muppets Christmas Carol, they put it, I'm on my island. That's you, Sam. Now, no, come on with me, man. Sean says, NHRA has tried to profit too heavily from any of its media. And they have done that, and there's a whole lot lack of media. They need a whole lot more. We've mentioned on this show, hey, that They need to work on a Netflix deal. They need to work on behind the scenes deal. I think NHRA.TV is not where it's at. I think the opening up these new app that on the world of apps and streaming, that's been a good move, but there could be a whole lot more. There definitely could be a whole lot more content out there. Dave W., Cody Coughlin, NASCAR racing. And let's continue. Let's mention that. I'm glad you brought that up because I had thought about this earlier today and it jars my memory. I think there definitely is an issue the NHRA has right now. You got Paige Coughlin making the move she has. Cody Coughlin. Gray. Tanner Gray wins a championship, does it in NHRA drag racing, and doesn't even come back, but goes and pursues a career in NASCAR. All of those, I think if I'm the NHRA, that is on the table. Like, what the heck is going on and why are we losing out? All right, Red Racer 1985. Good to have you along, man. So, okay, so guys, we got a little bit under 9 minutes or so before we have Melanie Salemi on. She's actually in the green room. We'll have her on in just a few moments, talk about the year, talk about the win, and many more things on the docket. I was at PRI, my first PRI, and as you see there, please, if you can, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you are not already. First PRI was great. And I'm going to bring up a video in just a few moments, and I want to talk about 3 brands in particular. Now, these guys are not sponsors. I have occasionally been paid by Voss Racing to do some commercials, and they have sponsored videos in the past, the World Door Slammer Nationals of 2021. But I want to show off Raystar wheels, Voss wheelie bars, and G-Force transmissions in this very quick video, and I want to break down those brands, especially Raystar wheels. I was definitely fascinated by their product. Brands there: Raystar wheels, Voss wheelie bars, and G-Force transmissions. Again, not sponsored by them. I'm not. This isn't a deal. I just want to highlight them. I got some interviews with them at PRI. Raystar wheels, fascinating. So many of you know, but not everyone probably watching. I have a background in welding. I actually have an associate's degree in welding, and I was a high school welding instructor. I was actually an adjunct professor at my alma mater. I spent about 7-8 years in the industry in welding, from carbon steel to stainless steel to aluminum, various different types of builds from the boat dock world to the automotive world. Anyway, beyond that, their process, if you notice in that video, they had a traditional wheel. They didn't say what company it was, but you can see several seams in the wheel. And then there was that shiny stuff. Well, that shiny stuff was actually silicone. And as a welder, that was a red flag to me. Like, why did I have to silicone a weld? If you welded something properly, it should be airtight. It should be uniform. Nothing should be getting through that weld. But most of, as was explained to me, most of the other companies out there that produce wheels, they weld the wheels together in segments, and then they blast them with silicone around that seam to make sure they stay airtight. Raystar wheels, completely different. And they actually, in fact, have a lighter and stronger wheel out of the alloy that they're using. And they use friction stir welding. What is happening in that process? So friction stir welding, imagine, you can obviously YouTube this later. Imagine spinning at a high rate of speed. And then you're compressing the two base metals together. and you are, by that friction and that speed, creating enough heat to cause fusion. And what happens is you have less heat affected zone than traditional welding, and it creates almost a seamless wheel throughout its segments, and therefore they're not putting silicone on them. So you have a stronger, lighter, almost seamless wheel. They now have, and as in my interview, they even have a wheel for Top Fuel and Funny Car and alcohol ranks through PDRA and beyond. So I just want to say, take a look at Raystar Wheels. Pretty cool and innovative stuff. And in fact, the guy that was at Weld Wheels doing a lot of the design work, that's where he is at now, Raystar Wheels. So keep that in mind. That's pretty cool. Voss Wheelie Bars. Love the Voss family. They've always been very kind and nice to me. They participate in the PDRA. They've been in Mountain Motor Pro Stock. They've also been in, right now they're in Outlaw Pro 632. And their carbon fiber wheelie bars, wow. I didn't know that carbon fiber could really work in that way, but in talking with them, the carbon fiber wheelie bars, the entire build is like 17 pounds. It's much lighter, and it's much more robust apparently. And not just the carbon fiber wheelie bars, but they make other products out of carbon fiber. You know, if you're the tools, push bars, things of that nature, a lot of great products over there. And then G-Force transmission. Ladies and gentlemen, this company produces a transmission that lives up to these Southeast Gasser guys. And if you haven't seen Southeast Gasser racing, you can see it right here on the Monday Morning Racer channel. Like, I mean, they're slamming gears. If a transmission can last up to what they're doing, even last in the drifting world, and not to mention their owner, Leonard Long shifters as well. I mean, this guy's like a 5-time NMCA, 10-half stick shift champion. Like, my mind's blown, and what I'm saying is, start diving in. And this is what's great about PRI and going to a place like this. You get these stories, you can have these conversations, and you are able to learn that, wow, like if I ever have a car, which may be a while, but if I ever have a car, I may go G-Force transmission because, man, Leonard wins. He builds the thing. He knows the thing, and they last up to what these Southeast Gasser guys are doing. So check out those things. Check out those things. Some great products out there. And again, Raystar Wheels, that innovative. I love the idea of friction stir welding in the wheel building construction process. So what are some products you saw at PRI that intrigued you, if you happen to see any? And Sam Smith, he's saying, let's see the pics, Elite. Well, I'm not sure what you're talking about there, Sam, but I think you might be referring to these. Me and Sam at the DI Drag Illustrated After Hours party. That was about halfway into the night. And then myself and Sam with some fans of the Competition Plus Power Hour. Love you guys. Thank you for your support. And then I know Sam's not on the show, but we'll let everyone see Sam at his finest on the dance floor right now. And it's still out there. We're not sure if there's any video evidence of me dancing, but I did get out on the dance floor, and that was a good time. That was a good time. Lee ain't feeling good in the last pick. Yes, that morning was rough. That morning was rough. I'd like to get to PRI some year. Man, it's definitely worth it. Love PRI, and it is a great place. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to going back again. Kenneth Shahan says, that's a funny shirt. It is, because it's Funny Car Chaos. Yes. Love my Funny Car Chaos. Looking forward to being out there next year and working with those guys. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a break. Right after the break, we're going to have Melanie Salemi on, and we'll chat with her about the year, the win. Looking forward to having her on. Always good to chat with her. Right after this break, word from Power Built Tools if you're still looking for some gifts, use this promo code, get them in the cart, buy them, get them shipped, get them under the Christmas tree, or for any time you actually, in fact, need them. You never know when you might need a tool. Word from Power Built Tools.
Power Built Tools exemplifies innovation in the tool industry. From hand tools, power tools, and even tool storage. Check out powerbuilt.com for Power Built Tools. And remember, use promo code MMR15 for 15% off at purchase.
Melanie Salemi, how's it going?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing great. Look, good to have you on. And look, it's come a long way. This is episode 74, and
Wow.
you were on the first episode. So thank you for once again making an appearance on Between the Slicks. Thank you.
No problem. I was looking for my sunglasses, but I think I left them in the motorhome.
Well, that would be normal that anybody else would leave theirs in the motorhome and not have them at night. I mean, but I am the Monday morning racer. I got to have them at
Although
all
I did
times.
not have them on in the convention center at PRI because I did see you.
You did, yes.
John was like, I almost didn't recognize him. He didn't have his glasses on.
Right. Yeah, I kind of went a little incognito, especially at the DI after hours party. Like, there was no ball cap, there was no shades, and everybody was like,
Who is that guy?
yes. So if there's any video evidence out there, if I don't like it, I can deny it. That's one reason why.
Katie just brought me my sunglasses. Hold on.
There you go. And see, you're always on point. Like, you got this purple theme going, and it's just carried all the way throughout. The shades and the branding, and I love how everything is on point. And you can tell, like, the Melanie Salemi fans, they just got to wear purple. I love it.
There is a little bit TMP, as Jim would say, though. Your race car can't have TMP. That's too much purple.
Well, hey, look, I've seen before, like, flat or matte purple wraps the whole entire. I think they look good.
The like shiny matte.
Yes.
I think
Yes. See, there you go. There you go. Speaking of cars, so I do want to dive into. You've got two. You got Purple Rain, and then you got Side Piece. So
Right.
I love both of them. I'm a little bit more Purple Rain team than Side Piece team. But this year, we saw them at both times. And in fact, there were a few times I was like, oh, they brought out Purple Rain, and I didn't expect y'all to bring it out when you did.
Right.
So talk to me about the decision, the talking process from the shop and getting ready and getting prepared of what car you're actually going to bring.
Well, okay. So we went at the beginning of the year and tested both cars at the same time at Galat. I wore my team out. We probably made at least 15 runs a day between the two cars. And we were there for 3 days. So we worked like crazy. And we did that because we had Purple Rain set up as a roots blower car. And we had the Side Piece set up as a screw blown car. And we wanted to kind of back to back, same racetrack, same time. So literally I would get out of one car, get right back into the other car, take it to the staging lanes, make a run. And we back to backed. And we decided that we were going to take the Side Piece to the beginning of PDRA racing. And we struggled. It wasn't anything to do with performance or this or that, but I lost races by, 0.003 of a second, or we had some mechanical thing happen and lost the race. So I didn't fare very well in the PDRA competition, but everything that we did was moving us forward. So halfway through the season, we decided that we needed to get the Roots car back out and make a statement with it. And the very first race that we decided to take it back out was Empire, which is our local track. And we brought it out, and I went to the final against Tommy Gray. And we were like, all right, well, we haven't raced this car since March, and we come out and we've done pretty well. So we decided to keep going down that path. Not that the other car was forgotten about. We continued to work on our screwball program behind the scenes, and we went to Florida in November to Orlando. And then after that race, we decided, okay, we've perfected our screwball program again, and we brought it to the next race. So that was that.
Yeah, a lot of going back and forth, and I think at the timeline, you got that win Galat 2020,
Yep.
and then from then it's been kind of up and down, and you've had those moments where it's like, okay, it looks like the Salemis have got it all together, and you just barely get nipped, and I know that's got to be frustrating, but you've done well in some of the other series, like the one-off race there at Empire. And then Rumble Wars?
Yeah, I won the Rumble. I won the Rumble Wars race at Norwalk, one of my favorite racetracks. That was early on in the season. I think it was in June or July. But we've never ever stopped progressing our programs either. So we're on the dyno. We're at MSR Performance. We're working on things at the shop. We're working on different things with our marketing partners. Parts come in, we test them, all sorts of things. So, I can't say that this season has been bad because I've got 2 wins and we've learned a lot going forward.
So before we dive in any further on drag racing, you got a beautiful tree there behind you, and you said y'all were setting that up earlier. So any Salemi holiday traditions that y'all have to have each and every year?
Yeah, actually, we are setting up to have our Christmas party that we always have the Saturday before Christmas. So this is the Saturday before Christmas. And have family from everywhere come and join us at our house. It's actually been a Salemi tradition. John's mom did a Christmas party. Actually, it was on Christmas Eve, but it was during the day. And then once she got a little bit too old to continue that tradition, John decided that he was going to continue it, but he was going to do it on the Saturday before Christmas. So for I think this is the 14th or 15th year that we've had this at John's house, and all of his family comes along, and it's kind of like a drop-in deal, but we've had lots of racers join us here, and it's been a lot of fun. So it's definitely a lot of work to have. Oh crap, we've probably had 80 people in our house, and our house isn't that large. So we've done pretty well, and it's a ton of fun. The kids have all kind of grown up now. There are still a few kids that are under 15, but most of the kids have kind of grown up now, and it becomes a pretty good party.
So the centerpiece, will it be the Snowbird trophy?
Absolutely.
Very good, very good.
And actually, another thing that we have done in probably the last 5 or 6 years, we've always put together a video to showcase at the Christmas party. So Katie has been behind putting this video together for, oh man, it's probably been like 2 or 3 months, but we've taken everything that we've done this season, not only great, but any behind the scenes or things that we haven't shown before to our family and our friends. We put together a small video and we show them, and it's pretty kind of cool.
Very cool. Very cool. I'm glad y'all got that tradition, and it's
Yeah.
good to hear family is sticking together and being family and enjoying the holidays for sure. The
Absolutely.
Snowbirds Outlaw Nationals. I have not yet been there. Shame on me. I've got to get down there soon. But I look at that race, especially now, 50 years of it, that like it's the bragging rights pro mod race, and that it is a race where all these different like it's one of the few races where like NHRA guys, PDRA, Outlaw, I mean, everybody comes together and tries to win this thing.
Yeah.
Do you all in the pro mod world feel that it's like a standalone crown jewel type of event? Is it that big of a deal actually?
Yeah, it really is. I mean, I think this is only the second time that I've actually raced it myself. But after PDRA is finished, we like go into Florida mode, and we go to Orlando for the World Street Nationals, which I've been in the finals 3 years prior to this year. I won 2 of them, and that kind of like sets us up for the winter series, you know. So, and believe me, we want to get out of Buffalo because it's snowing. And going to the Snowbirds the last year and this year has been kind of like an extra race for me because I didn't really attend it prior years. I've been there as a fan or support for our customers, but other than that, the last 2 years it's been pretty cool. And for Victor to up the purse and make it kind of like a special deal, I think that's been awesome.
So going into the Snowbirds, I have to admit you weren't my pick. And
Oh, come on.
you know, yeah, I'm sorry. You know, though,
you know what? From the Facebook comments, I don't think I was a lot of people's pick until after I won second round, and then they were like, "Woo!"
well, I mean, you know, so many big names go down there. I knew that the year for you all was like this like Doctor you know Hyde, Mr. Jekyll type. You know, is up down. There was just things weren't coming together. At least PDRA side, and though mind you, you know, I know like media is not supposed to pull for anybody, but I'm like, okay, get it done, Melanie, get it done. Let's get it done in Pro Boost. But looking at all the competition, I was like, man, I wonder like really how well they're going to do. Was there any lack of confidence going in at all, or and it seems like y'all did have definitely plenty enough confidence going in, but what was the thought going in for this team, and did you think a win was out there for you at this particular event?
Well, we left Buffalo on Saturday afternoon.
Thank God. No.
Yeah, we arrived in Florida on Sunday, and we tested Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, we did not test so that John could, or John and Jim actually could take care of their customers. And there was some customers that had some things that Jim needed to fix for them, welding, stuff like that. So we decided that Thursday we were not going to test. So Friday we tested it, and we tested as much as we could, you know. And Friday night, I was like, you know what? Everybody here is like just as great of a racer as I am. And I have as great of a chance at winning this race as all of them do. So Saturday morning, we go into qualifying, and we make a couple qualifying runs. Get out of here, John. We make a couple qualifying runs, and there's cars that are qualified ahead of us, and John is in the motorhome behind his computer, and I can see him in there, and I'm like, hey, listen, we're not here to win qualifying. All we have to do is qualify the car. We can win from anywhere. And then, needless to say, the qualifying sheet was a 10th from number 1 to 32. So even better. You can win from anywhere. And we were matched up against Halsey in the first round, and we both went 73 to qualify. And
67.
Oh, what? 67-3, sorry. And it was just like, if you get past first round, all you have to do is be good on the tree and have everything kind of fall into place. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, so I go back. I didn't watch the live stream or anything, but I'm going back watching from other YouTubers, and I had actually picked Jim Halsey to win. So I see you match up with him. Well, there went my pick. Great. But
Did you
look,
get a second pick?
Do what?
Did you get to do a second pick?
No. So out first round, I'm done. But when you look at your race, I mean, I don't know what side of the ladder you were on, and just maybe because there was just no slouches there, but you took out Jim Halsey, you took out Daniel Ferris, you took out Kurt Stedding, you took out Chris Thorne, and then last round is the name escapes me. I'm not really familiar with him.
Ken Cartuccio.
Thank you, because I couldn't say it anyway. So you've got Pro Nitrous champion Jim Halsey. How many times now? Like 10. Anyway, you've got Kurt Stedding there, which definitely a great Pro Boost car, can threat to win each and every time they go out. Chris Thorne, he was leading the NHRA points before he had that wreck there in Indy a couple of years ago. And Daniel Ferris finishes second in Pro Boost and PDRA. I mean, look, you went through some heavy hitters to get that win.
Yeah, it was kind of refreshing. I've raced these guys forever, and we did really well in prior years. This year, it's kind of like everybody forgot that in years prior, we were just as good as they were. So I don't know. I'm trying not to watch you guys put decorations on my Christmas tree right now because I kind of do it. But
so of this win,
I think beating Halsey. I mean, I don't normally get to race him,
right?
Because he's in a different class. But it seems like every time we go to a hybrid race where there's Pro Nitrous and Pro Boost together, we always end up racing each other. So it's not like it was something new that I had to race him. And this mine, and you try to throw that under the carpet when you have to race them because you don't want any bad feelings and stuff like that, because Melissa is one of my best friends, and it's kind of tough because she wants to be excited for us, but she doesn't, because that's her business and that's her livelihood. So I completely understand that, because there's a lot of times when John has customers at the races and I have to race against them, and you just put the best tune up in both cars and both drivers get to battle it out on the starting line. And that's kind of what happens when there's friendships that are built within the racing.
The pickle.
Both
The
of
pickle.
you need to get out of
It's
here.
the pickle.
It's the pickle. Yeah, it goes on last.
Tell them about the pickle.
Have you guys ever had a pickle on your Christmas tree?
I don't know about no pickle on a Christmas tree.
Okay, so the pickle on the Christmas tree
German tradition.
is a German tradition, and for real?
Yeah,
Okay.
mom. German.
German tradition, and the young kid, John's mom would hide the pickle on the Christmas tree, and then the young kids would, at the end of Christmas Eve or Christmas Day or whatever, all the young kids would have to find the pickle. It would get hidden on the Christmas tree somewhere. So whoever found the pickle got $10 in an envelope.
Yep.
Hey, so the pickle's a big deal. Y'all got that, didn't you? Oh, well, that's cool. That's cool. And now there's video evidence of where that thing goes, and people can go back and find it now.
Yeah. It's on the top this year.
But
It's on the top.
there's no young kids, like I said before. There's no young kids left. So
Well, maybe it needs to
maybe
be
the drunk parents need to find it at the Christmas party. I
right,
guess.
and maybe it needs to be a free bottle of something because you found the pickle or something. I don't know. I don't know. This win at the Snowbird Outlaw Nationals, it seems like it was definitely an all-around team win too, because there was wins that were whole shots. There were wins where you were definitely the fastest car, and it's, to me, it looked like, well, a complete win when you look at everything for your team. So, like, from John and other members of the team, when y'all look at the win, what were the thoughts?
What's up, Lee? How are you doing?
Man, I'm good. I'm good. You're back there, so you're gonna get on here.
I'll get on a little bit. Yeah, for sure. I'm. What I'm most excited about is you have the glasses back on.
I already did this with him.
I know. It was a shock. It was a shock to people, and we'll be careful how many times that happens. Okay.
Yeah, we got to be careful about that. But yeah, I mean, like, there's no I in team. You can say it 100 times, but our team had Melanie's back and Melanie had our back when we needed it. And you got 5 rounds of brutal competition. And at the end of the day, when you get it done, I guess you get it done, right? And at the end of really, that was like that's like the whole premise of winning a race like that, where you have 32 cars separated by a 10th. It's anybody's race when you roll up the first round, and there's a multitude of things that you have to take care of to get to the winner's circle. First of all, the car has to be, nothing has to fall off the car, which almost something did fall off the car in second round, but we prevailed there. And then, tuners and car chiefs and crew chiefs have to do their thing, and driver has to do their thing. And that's what it takes to win one of those races. And fortunately, we had a great mindset. We tested well. I'm like really a new combination on that car. We had run that car from like March to July, with a different combination there. We brought it there, and we made as many runs as we possibly could to get as much information as we possibly could to get to be efficient. And I don't know. It's just like, it's a great thing that happened the way that it did. And, like we had, a bit of some mechanical stuff happen in the thing and the round storm, where we had to take, transmission and converter out.
And we were missing Katie. So we were down a crew member.
Yeah, we were down one crew member. Yep, for sure.
I had to step in and do Melanie and Katie at the same time, which doesn't happen very often because Katie doesn't ever usually leave early. But it worked out well. And actually, I think it kept our momentum going.
Yeah, it did. And, with the expertise of, my brother Jim there and his mentoring of Evan and, his mentoring of Eddie and Eddie's support of our entire team is just like, it's second to none. And that's what it takes to put the whole package together to win one of these races. And
honestly, I can't think of 2 better teams to be in a final of a race like that. Both Ken Cartuccio's team and our team were more than excited to be in the final, but we both are kind of the same. We come from the same ground. They're a family team. We're a family team.
We're both from
We're
the
not
Northeast.
high funded. We're both from the Northeast. And it was like, whatever way that final went, the losing team was going to be happy for the winning team, and the winning team was happy for the losing team. I mean, in the winner's circle, Ken and I got our picture taken, and I don't know, 4 days earlier, Ken's wife and I were standing at the back of my trailer and chit-chatting for 30 minutes. I mean, we're just normal people living our dream, doing what we can to do what we want to do. And they work hard, we work hard. And that final, I think it was just an awesome deal to have two great teams that were capable of doing the same thing with the same backing. And it was an awesome feeling to even be in the final.
The most important question: how are you spending the money?
Spending? I already
Yes.
spent.
Come on, you know that was spent to pay debts before you even got it.
Thank you for the big check. It's already allocated.
Yeah.
Well, as most people know, the original Purple Rain is for sale, and we have started building a new one. Don't worry, it'll be Purple Rain 2, not 2, but also. And it's just, there's always, it never ever ends. So we just keep going and going and going. And man, if I gave everybody who asked me for a $5 loan at PRI last week, $5, I would have $0. It was pretty cool. Going into PRI after winning a race like that was kind of special. People
Sure.
that you don't even know are walking by you, telling you congratulations, that was so awesome, and stuff like that. And I have to talk about the fans for a minute at that race. There was some fans that were up in the stands on Saturday. Sunday morning, I came out and I'm making breakfast, and I look up, it's 7:55 in the morning, and there's people setting up their little areas in the stands right above where our pit was. And I'm telling you, they were there from 7:55 until the end of the race. And every time that we rolled that car back into the pits, they were cheering, they were welcoming us back. It was something really, really awesome. And for that, the win just it made it that much better. It was like they were waiting for us to do something for them, and we ended up doing it. So it was really special.
Yeah, I watched the footage provided by Drag Racing and Car Stuff, and a lot of footage from the film, from the stands. And look, you could definitely tell there was a pop of you winning in the stands and a reaction. And look, that's a testament. You are a fan favorite, and you're a very approachable gal, and John's approachable. And I know y'all have always been very kind to me, and I appreciate that. But there's definitely a lot of good reason to pull for the Salemis. And again, congratulations on the win. And I hope it propels you into a great 2022. Look, Chris Ramos, he does ask any plans for next season. So what does it look like next season? And I got to ask, you said you're building another Purple Rain. Is it still Firebird? Is it going to be late model Camaro? We're going to see something new? I know it's going to be purple.
It's definitely going to have some purple on it. John and I are kind of in a fight about what it's supposed to look like, but we'll continue that later. And it's going to be a Firebird. We will run that car probably with our Roots blower program and continue going on with the screw blower program with the side piece. That's our tentative plans right now. We will do the PDRA season next year, and then all of the offshoot races that we like to go to. We may attend some of the Rumble Wars races. There's a few races at Empire this upcoming season that we'll go to. We will definitely be maybe at the Northeast Pro Mod somewhere else other than Empire, but we'll definitely be back in Orlando and Bradenton and the Shakedown, Yellow Bullet, stuff like that. So we have a full season going for next year, and with our sponsors that we are so thankful to have. We have to continue to go out and test product for them and prove product for them. And John needs to sell product for them. So if you don't mind, I have a little bit of a list that I would like to go through for my sponsors. And thankful so much for them. Alley Installations, Eddie Whalen, he has been amazing for our team. Not only does he provide us with the side piece and parts and everything like that, but to have somebody like him be hands-on with everything in our pit every time we race is amazing.
And he really loves cheesecake.
Oh yes, he does love and cannolis.
Yeah, cannolis and cheesecake
with the powdered sugar on top. Yeah. Oh, we'll talk about that on another show. Anyways, Strange Engineering, Liberty's Gears, Quick Drive Racing, Ross Pistons, NGK Spark Plugs, LAT Racing Oils, Noonan Race Engineering, Kinetic Engineering, Callie's Performance, Flat Out Gaskets, DMP, VP Racing Fuels, Motorsports Unlimited, Precision Shaft Technologies, the best carbon fiber drive shafts ever. Hammer Superchargers, Spencer Motorsports, Molly Clevite, Scott Jaron for giving us some awesome paint jobs, R&R Racing, Connecting Rods, and Bora Racing Products, DJ Safety, MSR Performance for providing us with the most amazing horsepower, Chief Force Race Cars for obviously building Purple Rain and the side piece, Resolution Racing Services, Fuel Tech, Neil Chance Torque Converters, and my dad and my mom.
Very cool. Very good list. Well, look, just a couple more questions. We'll let you go because I know you mentioned dinner in the chat earlier and definitely want you to get to that. I'm hungry too. I'm always hungry. So
yeah, we're going for pizza because, you know.
That sounds really good. They're really good. But not down here. I'm back in South Carolina and pizza sucks.
You're missing upstate New York pizza, aren't you?
Dude, man, I admit there's a little place in Hamlin, New York that just had the best pizza I've ever found. And it's just not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah.
So,
no doubt.
Drag Racing Central, he asks this. If NHRA Pro Mod went to 8th Mile, would you all consider another foray into NHRA Pro Mod if they made that switch and made that change? Do you think that would be a drastic enough change to pull in the Tommy Franklins, the Jim Halseys, the Salemis?
Well, the Salemis would definitely continue to race quarter mile pro modified at NHRA. Melanie would. Melanie would. There is nothing like driving your pro, but that is like the be all end all of driving one of these cars. It is the best feeling that you will ever have, and I think that if situations were correct and if the car count was up and rules were right and everything fell into place, we would definitely go back to NHRA and run quarter mile. 8th mile, I don't know. There's enough 8th mile places to race everywhere. And I would rather race outlaw 8th mile than I would legal 8th mile, I think. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, you just have to see how that all parlayed and laid out.
Now, another thing that I can say is racing the car in outlaw trim in the quarter mile. Oof. That is even something even further than racing it in legal trim at NHRA. I mean, at the shakedown when it was at Norwalk, that honestly was one of my favorite races to go to because you raced 8th mile all year long. You went and tested a couple times quarter mile, and then at the end of the year, you went to that race and laid it down. And we always fared pretty well at that race. So it was not only going quarter mile, but in outlaw trim. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I've got to ask, especially with side piece, how much driving, girl, are you actually doing? Because it hits a gear, and it's like you've gone into a whole nother Willie. I mean, is that thing ever going to settle down? I mean, what is going on?
Well, you know, we've been working on the wheelie. Evan, why don't you come in and tell us about this? Oh. How have we been working on the wheelie, Evan? How many hours have you spent at the shop working on the chassis setup and working on everything to control that?
A lot. Lots of weeks.
Lots of weeks, not hours. He's been working weeks. So Evan underneath Jim, takes care of everything at the shop and does all of the car setup stuff in between races, you know, taking things apart, putting them back together. And, you know, this year has really proven to be a big stepping stone for Evan. He's learned a lot and become familiar with everything, not only from chassis setup to mechanical stuff on the car. There's been times when we've come back from a race and he's taken the complete engine apart and it's been fixed. He's assembled it all back together and put it back in the car, and away we went. But he's working on a little bit of tune-up stuff with John, and he's had a couple of people that he's gone on his own with to work on their cars, tune up at the racetrack. And, you know, he's really become an important part of our team. And there's sometimes when we fly him into a race because he's been at school working on his mechanical engineering degree and he's a little bit late, but once he gets there, it's kind of like a relief, you know, because Evan's here, everything is good again.
Well, guys, look, to the whole team, the whole family, congratulations on the win down there in Florida, and we look forward to 2022 being another fabulous year for the group, and that Purple Rain side piece or whatever else does well. Yeah, we got one more coming in.
We have two more. We have
two more. All right. The whole gang's here.
And we have Lexi.
Awesome.
Lexi is also definitely one of my most favorite racers ever. You have to think Lexi has grown into this beautiful woman who also drives a race car. And my very, very, very first win that I ever got in Pro Modified was when I met her at the drag stock race at Rockingham. And she had won that race, and we got together, took a picture, and I think you ended up winning the championship that year. Yep. It was that year. And you're like this little girl. And, you know, our families have kind of meshed together a little bit. Evan and Lexi are definitely good friends. And it all works out really great. You know, if you surround yourself with great people, Lexi's family's been awesome. They also have a G-Force car and everything this year has just kind of brought our family to the next level, and hopefully we can continue that in 2022.
Yep, with Jim and Eddie and everybody else that's involved in our deal. 2022, we're looking to rebound. We got to start at late 2021. Western New York to the front, buddy.
There you go. Well, I'll definitely have to pick Salemi first and foremost in the races coming up in Pro Boost and those out ones. Guys, again, look, happy Christmas, Merry Holidays. We
Yes,
got that
Merry
switched
Christmas,
around.
Happy
Just
Holidays,
whatever's
everybody.
coming up, y'all enjoy it. Celebrate the win. Thank you for the time, and go enjoy that pizza.
Thank
You
you.
got it.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right, folks. Man, good show for Between the Slicks right here on Monday Morning Racer. I myself am going to grab a bite to eat. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to hit the like button for me wherever you're watching this. Hit that like button for me. Hit the share button, and make sure, tell folks to come right back here next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to have a big show, kind of a Christmas special. We're going to see who we get on, someone from the drag racing media world, and then hopefully some other media personalities to get a different spin on drag racing and the stories that they thought were big. And we'll just have a good time talking about drag racing right here on what I think is the most diverse show in drag racing, Between the Slicks. Until next time, ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Monday Morning Racer saying God bless and keep the pedal to the metal.
Hero Soap Company is a veteran-owned establishment that produces all-natural, essential oils infused soap that is sold with a portion of the proceeds supporting other veteran groups. Hero Soap Company. Heroes supporting heroes. Be a hero yourself and buy a bar and let freedom clean.